Welcome to part 2 of the silver wire refining series here. What I'm going to do is, I don't know what's in here, but I'm going to get a little bit of it if I can and get it into a melt dish here, just a small sample of it, and see if we can put some flameage on this and see what we get. Take it over here to the melt table, and what I'll do is try to melt a little bit and see what happens here. Okay, this is time lapse. It's putting out a lot of smoke, so I open the door to my shop. Here you'll see I'll throw some flux on there to try to get any metal to, that's borax flux, and then I hit it with my acetylene torch. I didn't see any metal in that melt dish. I put my acetylene torch on there and didn't see anything metallic, so we're going to do some experiments with that much later. Now what we'll do is we turn our attention back to the silver chloride that I have in this jar. Alright, I've got a handheld blender here that I bought at the thrift store for $3. See that blade on the end? And this comes in real handy for doing this reaction. So I'm just going to stick this down in here. You can see some of the silver chloride has reacted with the light and turned a purple color. I'm just going to test this out, give it a spin. Now what we'll do is, I've got some sodium hydroxide here, just regular old lye from the hardware store. So we're going to add this lye to the silver chloride and stir it and turn the silver chloride into silver oxide. Okay, I think we've got it. I used a whole 3/4 of a pound of lye. Add some sugar now. This is just regular old sugar like you put on your breakfast cereal. I'm going to start pouring it in real slow and convert the silver oxide that's down here to pure silver metal. Got to watch how you add this. This reaction is very highly exothermic. It gets real hot and it could boil over if you add the sugar too quickly. There it goes. That's already converted partially. Alright, now we're starting to get some bubbling there. 76 Celsius, 170 Fahrenheit. It's just a few seconds later. This can take off on you and do a runaway reaction. 178 Fahrenheit, 81 Celsius. Looks like we're pretty much done, I guess. Might add just a little bit more sugar. Make sure we got everything converted. I think we've got it. I think we've got it converted completely now. All right, that reaction was fairly quick. Down at the bottom, you can see our pure silver settling out. And I have seen this react so violently that it's spewed up out of the container like a volcano, but that didn't happen this time. So now we'll rinse off all the lye and sugar and get our metal. Now what I'll do is I'll just pour off this waste solution into a waste container. I've got some tap water back here, and what I'll do is just rinse this silver over and over until I get all of the lye and sugar rinsed off of it. It's probably going to take quite a few rinses to get it completely rinsed. After rinsing multiple times, I think I've got all the lye off of here. You can see I still got pH of about 8, so that's pretty close. We're going to go ahead and pour this remaining water off now. All right, I've got all the water poured off. I'm going to collect the pure silver powder here into a filter paper, and let's see if we can get this down into a melt dish and get this melted up into a bar. Alright, looks like there's a little bit more silver here than I thought there was going to be. If I can get it all in the filter here. Like building a sandcastle. You can see here, I've got a lot more silver than I thought I was going to have. Let's see if we can transfer it into a couple of melt dishes here. I don't think I'm going to have enough room in a single melt dish for all of this. And look at all that. So, yeah, this is a lot more than I was counting on here. A lot more silver. This should be high purity silver, 3/9 fine, very close, depending on how well it's rinsed. How well we rinse all the copper out of the silver chloride, and how well we rinse all the lye and sugar off of our final product here. Yep, this is way more than I was counting on. Alright, here's the what the filter looks like. And just a little bit of it got left out of the melt. That's okay. Here's our two melt dishes full of silver. We'll take the first one over here, and we're going to set it down and start putting some flame on it. Flame. Okay, here we go. Here's our 2 pure silver bars from the silver wire. Got a little flux that came over on this one. This one looks pretty good, but it's got some outgassing that occurred when it solidified. This one doesn't have any flux on it. This one does, so I'm just going to slip it down in some dilute sulfuric acid. 5% sulfuric acid. Heat it up a little bit and all that flux will dissolve off of there. It's been there about 5 minutes. All the flux is off of there now. Let's see if we can get this out of here without creating a hazard here. Alright, there we go. Let's rinse this off now. Alright, that takes the flux off. Pretty doggone good. Okay, here's our bars. They look pretty good. This will be high purity silver. Let's weigh it up here. We got 151. If you remember, we started out, let's see, we got 151 divided by 588 is what we started with. So we've got an effective yield of about 25.6%. 151 grams, almost 5 tray ounces of pure silver. That's way more than I was estimating. This is my electrolytic silver cell. If you look in here, let me see if I can get down here. This is the anode filter basket, and what I'm doing is I've got a couple of bars that I refined in a previous session. I'm going to add the 2 bars that we just recovered off that wire in here, and we're going to run it through the silver cell and get it up to high purity silver. If you look in here, I've got some silver that I harvested from the last harvest from my silver cell, and this silver turned out kind of real mossy, like steel wool consistency. So what I'm doing is I'm adding it into the anode filter here, and we're going to pass all of this silver back through the silver cell a second time. This has been running now for about 2 days or so, and there's the pure silver crystal. Alrighty, this is the 2 bars that we just refined. They're going to go through the silver cell now. This will conclude part 2 of the silver wire refining series. Thank you for watching.